Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look here at Mirror Protocol. I've been asked to go ahead and cover this again and just to kind of quickly look at profit targets and kind of understand how healthy this continuation is and if we're going to expect it to move forward as it has so far. So we'll take a look at that, of course. Not a financial advisor though. You're new to the channel. Thanks again for joining me here. I just love teaching people how to trade, and my passion and my goal is to help you become a better, more self-sufficient trader. I have a trading community with that specific purpose in place so you can learn and grow as traders, but also get a good foundation with my trading academy. And then on top of that, build with my trading signals that I send out for every single trade that I take, so you know specifically how to structure a trade effectively with multiple profit targets, trailing stop losses, etc. So it's all fully automated and really cool situation, so check that out in your own time. CryptoCache.tech is the website. Take a look here at Mirror Protocol. So this is something that is quite amazing. It's obviously been fairly volatile. We can see some pretty high ups and some pretty low lows and some pretty down downs, right? But all in all, it's looking pretty good. And let's go ahead and talk about that. So first of all, we're up over the 50-day SMA, but the 200's working its way down. That could be a point of contention. So 237, according to this Fibonacci retracement level, is probably going to be a price point. It's going to be difficult to break, or it'll be tested again once or twice more before it's broken. Very common. You can see it tested once and rejected pretty hard. Granted, March 6th was a difficult day for Bitcoin, but regardless of that fact, we are looking pretty good here in that sense. Taking a look at the RSI though, it's a little choppy, but it does show us that we're still under 70, so it's not considered to be overbought just yet. Okay, so it's actually kind of nice that it comes up and comes down as it has been. It's an interesting pattern, but the beauty of it is the fact that it's continuing higher and it's making higher lows and higher highs, right? So this is awesome stuff. So hypothetically, the next low would be somewhere in the range of 165, and the next high needs to be somewhere in the range of 237. And it'll continue that pattern. If it does, it'll just keep on working its way up. So this is a very healthy continuation pattern, even though, yes, there's a lot of volatility, and these are significant increases and decreases. I mean, we're up 37% today here for Mirror alone, where Bitcoin's only up 8.5%. What is that? That's almost, actually, no, that's probably more than four times X, right? So we're looking at 4.5X for Mirror Protocol compared to Bitcoin. Amazing stuff, okay? So cool stuff there in that sense. The one day looks great. Let's look at the 4 hour and see kind of where we're at here. Again, the peaks and valleys, not fantastic. I don't love this type of continuation or just up and down, so to speak. I prefer a nice healthy continuation. If you're new to the channel, you'll hear me say a lot, I love staircase patterns, because that's usually the way it should go. You should jump to the next Fibonacci retracement level and come back down a little bit. Next level, back down. Even though this is making higher highs and higher lows, we've already acknowledged that, it's still not super healthy, right? Just my opinion. So unhealthy behavior here could lead to some catastrophic results. So if you're going to trade this, be very careful, of course, in the sense that trailing stop losses could get triggered. You may just want to kind of watch this like a hawk, or be perfectly fine if it were to jump up and down by 50% in one trading day. That's just the nature of this. All right, anyways, that set aside, we're looking at the both moving averages below the price action, equally as important. You can see the 50 worked as a nice support level here. So as the 50 works its way up, that'll work as a next support level when the price comes back down to consolidate for its next leg up. Okay, that's essentially what we're looking at there. So good stuff there. RSI is still, again, a little bit choppy, bit overextended previously. I don't love RSI up over 70 on the 4 hour chart, but right now we're under 70. I love to see that. So a nice little pullback would be perfectly fine down to 187 or 167. MACD convergence, of course, here recently, yesterday, last night, basically telling us we want to take entry. That's pretty standard. Most coins are giving us that same response. So all good stuff here on the 4 hour. See if we are overextended at all. We're at a 7. We have potential of 8 more hours of continuation, possibly 12 to 24, depending on how much further it wants to go. But as you can see previously, it came up to a 7 and turned around. Are we expecting a turnaround now? Perhaps. It does have a little bit better consolidation than the previous pattern, so I would expect the price to probably consolidate closer, or somewhere in the range of 186 to 208. So 186 to 208 is a good little range there that we can probably expect the price to kind of hang out and relax for a little while. At least we want it to, right? It shoots straight up tomorrow. I don't care whoever else tells you that's a good thing. It's terrible. We don't want that because it'll come crashing back down, right? Good traders do not wish for parabolic increases. I'll just put it that way. Parabolic increases are nonsensical and they don't really help anything because this shot straight up and then a long road down. It's not fun for anyone, especially those of us invested at higher price points. Anyways, 1 hour chart, taking a look here, TD sequential doesn't really tell us too much. We hit an 8 recently, came down to a 6, back up to a 4. So that kind of reaffirms the fact that we have maybe somewhere in the range of 4 to 8 hours of continuation. I don't think we're going to see it go much higher. I do feel like 207 is a likely resistance, but even if it were to, the price comes up to about 240, that's perfectly fine. All right, so again, we could see a range of 185 to 240 at this rate, with this being such a volatile coin, but the key is that our next low cannot be lower than 166. If we see a lower low, or sorry, yeah, basically it would be a lower low at that point. If we see a lower low right here or lower, that would be a bad thing, okay? So if anything, the price comes back down, comes down to 165, all well and good if it comes back up. It'll probably come back down to 187 and go up. That's the stronger likelihood here. But again, stranger things can happen. This is cryptocurrency after all, right? Taking a look at the cloud, kind of messy, but we just had a break above the cloud. This is typically a good signal to let us know that we want to maybe consider a long position and go to the upside. It's a bit on the overextended side right now, so I'd exercise caution in that, but you could legitimately add to your position and probably have some extra profit, because we are only, again, about 4 hours into this little continuation. We could see another 4 to 10 hours worth of continuation to the upside. So 240 or 236 is very likely in this push. But is it probable? I don't think so. At least we don't want it to be, because that would be too much in too short amount of time, right? Again, healthy continuation, healthy patterns, healthy results. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there. Not much else to really note except for the fact that big picture to look here, based on its previous history, this has a tendency of going crazy and beast mode. What we've seen today is very little, very small in the big picture. So that being said, is it probable to get between $3 to $4 in the near future? Absolutely yes. This has tremendous potential. I think you should consider taking entry sooner than later if you were to, just based on the simple sentiment that it's probably going to continue higher. I'm going to set an alert at about 186 because I am considering a potential position for my community. Based on that sentiment, we get a nice little pullback. Should be able to see a nice swing trade position. And I do think the likelihood of, just say getting in at 186, riding it all the way up to about, 350, upwards of about 380 for a little 100%, little 2x action is very likely. Okay. Now, is this going to happen tomorrow? Probably not. Do we want it to happen tomorrow? Definitely not. We want this to continue over the next couple of months. So if we can continue this little crazy pattern, as long as it's controlled and it keeps contracting and working its way up, higher highs and higher lows, we'll be just fine to be able to hit targets of 280, 323, 385, and possibly even 450 and higher. That's really just scratching the surface compared to where it could be and has been before. Again, not all coins have the potential of getting back to their previous all-time highs. All right, so I'm not trying to tell you that we're going to see $12 from Mirror Protocol again. But continuation, healthy continuation between now and then, this is much more probable if we have a healthy staircase. Let me get that do a little better. If we have a healthy, kind of ugly staircase pattern on the way up, right? Again, that's essentially what we're looking for. Tremendous potential for Mirror Protocol. I am definitely bullish on this guy here, and I think getting in somewhere close, between 165 and 205 is a really good value. All right. So take that as you will. Thanks again so much for joining me here. I hope you can learn something here today, of course. And if you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech, link in the description below. I send out swing trade signals for coins like this. This is a request from one of my community members that's really big on this coin. I can totally see why. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.